And welcome back to Dreamhack Winter 2011. Will there be a bad game in this entire day, Apollo?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Sound in my headset now, though.
Is it all dead? Did we kill it?
I actually can't hear anything.
Let's see what I can do while you have a word.
I don't know why it's just gone off.
I know why it's gone off. You can see right there. The cable's come out.
Cable came out.
Yes, it's okay.
Somebody did that. Oh, there we go. I can actually hear you.
That's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Otherwise, it'd blow my voice if we didn't have that.
Yeah, it's actually stuck
Modern
under your
technology.
chair. That's why it's pulled out there. This is why. There you go. Wonderful fix there. All sorted.
Fixed. All right, good.
You don't have Gunrun under your table to fix everything anymore.
Oh, Gunrun. I missed that guy under my table.
Yes, indeed. I'm sure you do.
It was amazing to have Gunrun under me.
Yes, quite. So, we've got this matchup right here between a man who many would have said should have struggled in his group and has now just demolished Naniwa.
Yeah, indeed. Cloud Carlo from Italy.
Yep.
Classic name, Carlo from Italy. But Cloud, oh my God, is he performing well recently? Not just in this tournament, though.
Yes.
Most notably in ESWC, actually. Only about a month ago or so, where he managed to beat Thorzane 2-1.
He brought the
And
pain.
then everyone was like,
you can't do that in
how
TBT.
did Cloud beat Thorzane?
Yeah.
And then he ended up finishing top 8 in the entire ESWC. And Cloud has always been somebody that's won a few tournaments online, finished second place at UGC earlier in the year, but hasn't really done anything in StarCraft 2 yet.
Yeah.
In StarCraft 1, on the other hand, he was known as one of the best Protoss players outside of Korea, was always winning WCG in Italy from 2005 onwards, literally every WCG tournament.
Yep.
He actually almost, when Noni, a.k.a. Tyler now, went to Korea for the first time, he won a tournament 4-3 against Cloud. So actually, Cloud is not that far away from actually being in Korea himself. So he's actually a relatively good player and has been for a very long time. But he's up against Liquid Sheth.
That is not going to be easy. Sheth showing some excellent form against Stefano earlier in the day. We had the pleasure of casting that one, and Sheth was dominant. There's really no question about that one. Cloud is not a bad TVZ player, but Sheth is, of course, great at ZVT as well. Both of these guys are not going to pull any punches because they know how hard this group is. Sheth gets a boost from beating Stefano. Cloud gets a boost from beating Naniwa, but now he's got to face up against Sheth, then Stefano. Stefano's going to be an incredible struggle for him because we know how powerful Stefano is in the ZVT matchup. So really, Cloud has got to win this.
Indeed he has. And even in these guys' chat, they said, well, I bet you would have never thought we would have been here.
Yeah.
Considering all our Protoss versus Zergs back in StarCraft 1, both being really good StarCraft 1 players.
True.
Now hitting StarCraft 2, playing Terran versus Zerg.
Yep.
Looks like both of these guys are ready to go, so let's get this underway. Can Liquid Sheth achieve something that he has not done so far in this year for sure? I mean, he's had second place finishes, ISF qualifying, lost versus Idra, second in the MLG Invitational, second in the Blizz Invitational. Can he actually get something here and down under his belt?
Well, I guess we're about to find out, ladies and gentlemen, because here we go. It's my pleasure to bring you Alternate Attacks Cloud. He is in the blue trunks, and he is playing Terran to the northwest of the Shakuras Plateau versus his opponent, Team Liquid Sheth. He is in the red trunks, and he is playing Zerg to the southeast.
And Cloud is very macro-based. Loves it. Obviously, being from StarCraft 1, that's what StarCraft 1 was always about, your economy and managing it and how you manage it. So Cloud will definitely want to play a more passive game, and usually a trademark of Cloud, like his stamp on the game, is double engineering bay, and working on armory as well. He's very into double engineering bay. And against Zerg, you actually need to keep up with upgrades. 2/2 Lings, if you only have like 1/1 or 1/0, you're just going to melt down. Lings will just do so much damage, even tank damage, while Mules tear stuff down. So in that thought, Cloud is very good on keeping on top of things with that, and I'm sure we will see that. Meanwhile, Sheth in this matchup is usually a Mutalist player. He does like Mutalist a lot, obviously being from StarCraft 1 as well. On the other hand, though, he is also very, very good at playing Ling, Roach, Infestor style also.
Yeah, and one of the other things that Cloud has a tendency of doing, he gets very, very greedy a lot of the time and likes to go for the 14 expansion, which is kind of Zerg style there, but he's not going to do that this time. He's going to get the refinery first, and he's kind of been doing that less and less because I think people have been getting the idea that he's been doing it and getting away with it, and they don't want to allow it to happen anymore. But we will see him go for a fairly quick expansion, I would think, unless he wants to shake things up and try and catch Sheth unawares.
Yeah, I don't think that'll work out too well against a player like Sheth. Very scouting heavy. As you can see, he's actually sending out a drone, which a lot of players don't even do anymore. They don't really scout with drones. They just want to get overlords in good position to have a better economy. So Sheth is going to scout, and he probably will be able to get into this base here and then see gas. So what we're going to see from Cloud is Reactor Hellion expand. And on this map, it's actually really good to deny creep, because it's kind of hard to put the creep tumors on the lower ground. Hellions can snap them very easily here. More importantly is if you deny creep from expanding onto the lower ground from the Zerg base, is that your pushes become inevitably stronger, because you can get into fantastic positions by the side of the ramp and underneath the natural.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Sheth was not able to scout gas at that point. He does keep the drone alive, since this Marine right here is completely oblivious to what's going on. He doesn't seem to mind that whatsoever. And in the meantime, Sheth's grabbing his gas quite late, of course, but he has expanded, so it's not as late as it could have been. So we'll see what he decides to do here. Probably try and get speed and control the map fairly rapidly, and of course, knowing that the possibility of Reactor Hellion is coming in, he will need that speedling upgrade.
And SCV does go into the base, checks the gas, and sees it, because you can click on the extractor and be like, all right, only 50 gas has been mined. That's excellent. Yep. We know the timing of that. Therefore, nothing's going to be coming too fast out. Zergling speed is not going to finish that fast, because he hasn't even got it being researched yet. Therefore, Cloud could capitalize on that and maybe build more than a couple of Hellions, maybe build up to 6 and try to get good locations in between the Vespene guys behind the mineral line. But like you said, this is a very defensive map. If a spine crawler is placed, good queen placement as well, you can actually block a lot of Hellion action here.
Yes, you can. And here's the swap around. Let's see what it decides to do. He's going to expand behind this, of course, which is fairly standard. Cloud just also tend to build his command centers on the lower ground as well. It's a bit risky, but it does let you start mining quicker from them, so there is certainly a benefit to that. He's very, very greedy and resource-intensive in that regard, and it's a strong playstyle. Now, Sheth's going to put down a spine crawler immediately right here, so he's going to try and defend this creep spread, and he's going to try and do a bit of damage to the Hellions. There's going to be 2 more coming up to that. We'll see if he decides to go up to 6 here.
And Sheth actually remaining with 1 in gas. This basically gives you a layer timing. You stick in 1 in gas, and as it ticks away to 100, you go layer. But in between that ticking to 100, actually enables you to build a lot of drones, lings, if need be, which is what we're seeing here from Sheth. Actually deciding to go for 10 Zerglings, and he basically has to, and it's not an aggressive stance, it's more of a defensive one, so that if Hellions did try to run by, he can create a wall with Zerglings to maximize the damage from the spine crawler. Meanwhile, a 3rd command center going down for Cloud here, Korean style, which is developed mostly by the Slayers players. As that's funny, I was say that. They can get a really good economy going into the mid game, and on this map as well, this 3rd base is super easy to take.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good choice there by Cloud. Not unexpected for him, honestly. He went for the 4 Hellions. He's now going to get a tank out as well.
Look at this, though.
Dear Lord. Is he able to slip his way past there? He's got a lot of damage to those Zerglings right there as the spine crawlers redeployed at the front. Sheth has actually been missing a ton of lava injects in order to spread creep instead. So.
And his layer was really delayed as well here. As you can see, it was actually up to 184 by the time he built the layer. And that's like 84 gas, more than he needed to go to layer.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, crap, okay, let's go to layer. So now all throws the gases down all at once, and we'll begin mining from there. So we are going to be seeing that Mutilus style once again. A little bit of a Zerg run by here, doing a bit of damage here. 5 workers killed.
Yeah, not a bad start right there for Sheth. A good comeback. And unfortunately, Cloud did neglect the defense in terms of that. That was unnecessarily dangerous. 6 workers killed. And that does unfortunately blunt the economic advantage of Cloud for the time being. We'll have a look and see what he's going to decide to do here. He'll try and maybe do another run by. It's just not possible. He's taken too much damage already. One of those will probably go down as he passes the spine crawler. The creep is well extended, and while Sheth was missing a lava injector until he got that 3rd queen there, it does seem to have played out in his favor simply because the creep spread has disallowed any kind of aggression coming forward right now.
And Lings on the natural get cleaned up super easy here, but just by a little few run by 6 SCVs, if we exclude the scouting SCV, that's 5 been killed. That's pretty good for Sheth here. Meanwhile, there's the Spire going down. Evolution Chambers as well, so he is going to try and keep up with Cloud's known style of double engineering base. As we can see at the top left now, 1-1 is starting for Cloud, which you can get away with if you do go for this early 3rd base, of course, because you're just going to have a better economy in the mid stages. Meanwhile, Cloud is not going to be going for any sort of timing attack around the 10-minute mark, which we see. And actually, Cloud is going to get these Hellions in fantastic position to really maximize damage against these Hellions. Oh no, though.
Oh, nice catch there by Sheth.
Well,
that
maybe
could have been pretty terrible, honestly. He's going to clean up a lot of other Zerglings there, maybe get one more shot, maybe two, in fact. He did do good damage there. It's not mutually assured destruction. A reasonable trade. It was over 12 Zerglings for 3 Hellions, and those Hellions were pretty injured to begin with. Now, Cloud has been able to replenish his SCV stock simply by using this really early third base as a macro command center. So he's back up to 40, and he's also deploying 3 mules at a time. Sheth is droning hard. He's up to 59, knowing that there's no real aggression coming in yet. And so Cloud does have to still play a little bit of catch-up. There's that armory that we expected to come down, and the turret's coming down at the appropriate time, but the muta count could start to get very unpleasant very rapidly here.
And there's that macro hatch connecting creep between the main and the natural. Very useful trick. Instead of using a creep tumor and using energy from the queen, this will actually give you creep towards the natural. So that is a nice little trick there. Meanwhile, third base is on its way as well. Spire has completed, so we are going to see 8 mutas on the way. But he did focus on 1-1 upgrades to actually keep up with Cloud. Therefore, the muta count is not going to be as scary as it would do if you were playing against a player like Dongwei Gu, who is very focused on heavy mutalist control, heavy moose production. So these won't be as scary, especially the way that Cloud's been setting up turrets in excellent strategical positions on the main. As you can see, both turrets here with Marines as well. The one thing we are missing from Cloud, though, is he hasn't got a starport yet. It's just going to rely on Marines, stimming them a couple of times, maybe, and then just taking a bit of hits, but will want to be throwing his starport down very, very shortly here. And he also will want to take that third base relatively soon. The SCV count's up 50 now, so any other SCV he builds from that actually doesn't give him any extra income because he's basically oversaturated.
Yeah, and Sheth's going to try and actively deny that third. He should be able to cause a few problems there for Cloud. Cloud will be forced perhaps to move out, which is risky considering the presence of the Mutalisks. Cloud doesn't really know about the Mutalisk count at the moment. In fact, he has seen the Spire, so he's aware of that, but he doesn't know how many Mutas are coming at him. He's going to have to be a bit careful there. Combat Shield starts quite late, which is going to mean that these Marines are not as durable, even with the +1 upgrade, against the Muta count.
And here come the Mutas to do a bit of harassment. Nice clumping them up, though, and he's going to be able to pick off this small little Marine squad. As you said, no combat shield is going to get picked off a lot easier. Yeah,
a few minutes did go down there. I think he lost 2, and that could have certainly been a lot better for Sheth with that engagement, and turning around again and losing yet another Mutalisk. So Sheth's down to 7 mutas at the moment, which is not a scary amount. And once combat shield kicks in and the Marine count really gets rolling, which is doing 9 at a time now that all of those reactors are finished on the barracks, those mutas will not be as useful as Sheth is hoping.
And I'm still surprised we haven't actually seen the starport go down. Obviously focusing very heavily on upgrades, 2-2 and +1 on the vehicle weapons. He doesn't really have the gas to go for a starport yet, but as he takes this third base, and it's going to be hard to take it, especially with the Mutalist control of Sheth, that it's going to be hard because there's going to be a lot more Mutalists flying around into the main, onto the third, and these Marines are stimming, starting to lose health, so every stim they do, this is going to hurt the push that's inevitably going to come from Cloud, and it's also going to hurt his defense too.
Yeah, I think, honestly, his Marine count is high enough, especially once that Thor comes out, that he should not really have too many problems here. Cloud is losing Marines unnecessarily, I'm noticing. Like, for instance, that stim was a little bit indecisive. He does take a muta for his trouble, which is quite nice, but he stims and then turns back and then decides, no, I can get in there. And Sheth's actually losing quite a few Mutalisks. His control doesn't seem to be really up to snuff at the moment. He's not doing extensive damage with them either.
Yeah, he's focused on upgrades rather than actually Mutalist control and high production of them, because you can see +2 carapace is about to finish for Zerglings, +2 melee as well. And what he may actually decide to do here is just jump onto the third base, because Cloud should be spreading out units into his main as well and on his natural to actually defend against Mutalists. So that's probably the strategy we've seen from Sheth. And tanks being picked off here.
Oh yeah, that's not a good start. And in come the Lings as well. +2 has not finished on the melee yet, and it is +2/+2 here for Cloud, but Banelings crash in there, and Cloud stuck in the man. Oh, that was a nasty Baneling flank. He looks to try and clean it up. The Thor is now in position, firing large salvos of rockets right into the center of that Mutalisk count, and Cloud does hold the base, but he did lose a lot of tanks there.
Yeah, he lost so much there, and to be honest, what did Sheth really lose? He didn't really have that high of a muta count anyway, and it was pretty much only upgraded Zergling, so that's pretty much free for him, especially as he's taking a 4th base now to keep up with his economy. But nice defense from Cloud. That was looking a little bit scary there for him, but 2 upgrades on Marines, that's pretty good.
Yes, they are. Unfortunately, they can't deal with the Lings, and of course, siege tank shells landing on their heads. Unfortunate there. Out goes another salvo of Thor rockets, able to do some damage. Those mutas are pretty badly hurt. He is adding more into the pack, and then I think he's just decided, no, we're just going to lose a couple more as well. They were very badly injured. Marine count needs to get higher. He's only on 20. He is really relying on those units in order to get rolling. Those +3 upgrades are also kicking in. He must ramp up the Marine production. He's got to watch out for Banelings as well.
Yeah, 4 more barracks have been thrown down to kind of keep up with that Marine production. But 3-3 is on the way. And once 3-3 hits, they are very, very solid units in this game. And you're going to have to rely a lot more on Banelings more than you ever would, and especially Infestors too, as we see the Infestation pit coming down. Nice harassment here by Sheth, though, doing a lot of damage to the SCV line. Look at that. 18 workers, 19, 23.
I'm very surprised that he did not pull off there. I really, really am. Relying too much on the Thor, maybe. His SCV count's still really high. He's at 62, and he's got 3 command centers worth of mules. But still, that was unnecessary set of losses, really. I think that perhaps Cloud overestimated the usefulness of that Thor there.
And we did have a few Marines just sprint through the center of the map, killing creep tumors to kind of slow Sheth's aggressive spread down. Meanwhile, mutas are coming to the back once again. Turrets are in place. Actually, 2 turrets is not really enough here to actually defend against any of these.
No, it's not, especially not with +1 Carapace on there. That's going to make those mutalisks much more durable against the missile turret fire coming in. A stim has been forced once again, and Supply Depot is getting picked off here, and Cloud sensibly has built a lot of spares, so that shouldn't really be a problem for him too much.
Hive is on the way now as his 4th base has been taken. A 5th base as well has been taken for Sheth, just not being used yet. Meanwhile, 4th command center is up for Cloud. We'll want to try and just clear out these Lings. Oh, actually, that's a bit of a... These Marines are in for a bit of a shock here, even with 3-3. I think there's too many Lings here. Well credited 2-2. And here we go.
He's sending in a couple just to say hi, and the rest of them are just going to have to stim away by the looks of it. That's not going to be a good situation, but he's actually bringing in extras from the back to try and draw Sheth out of position right there. +2 vehicle weapons about to complete as well. That's going to give him a bit of an edge against those Mutalisks if he does get another Thor out. He's been sitting on 1 this entire time, and once again, in comes the Mutalisk flock, and it's actually been allowed to get to a significant size now, and +2 upgrade attack is about to come in for those Mutalisks. He's got to do something about that pack. He must catch them out of position, destroy them. He's certainly got enough Marines to do that. He has 65, and he's about to add on another 11.
And Mueller should actually be going towards that 4th base to combine with these Zerglings to actually go ahead and kill this command center. He cannot allow Cloud just to take a very free and easy 4th base. Cloud will want to put this into a planetary fortress as well with a couple of turrets to fortify it. A couple of Banelings have been morphed though, and he may try to just kill this right now, and that could be dangerous for Cloud. Meanwhile, Cloud is pushing through the center of the map with this +2 vehicle weapons, and his army's looking relatively scary.
Yeah, and he may be forced to pull some Marines back in order to deal with this harassment that's coming in.
The command center goes down on the 4th, SCV's down on the 3rd. His economy is in shambles.
Oh my, yes, this is very, very messy here, and Cloud's able to engage in the center, but here we go. Banelings, so many of them, and smartly putting the tanks at the back, but look at that, everything evaporates. He keeps the Marines alive, loses a lot of mech in the process. Now, the question is, does he have any more Banelings? He's got 4, there's 46 more Lings coming in as well, and problem, I suppose, for Cloud here is this entire game he's not been able to harass Sheth at any point.
He needs to pull these reinforcements from the natural into the center of the map, because this army will not stay there for much longer if he doesn't, and oh my god, that one tank actually survives, but the reinforcements of Sheth are getting scary. A lot of Lings here, and Cloud's reinforcements are not going to get there in time.
Oh no, that's disastrous. No medivacs, of course. They were all very low health. It was an easy cleanup, and the mutants are going to take significant damage. Will that force hold up with just 2 medivacs? Cloud is thinking no. He's going to try and micro away from those Lings off creep as quickly as he can, and still there's so much fire coming up from the mutants. A second wave of Marines comes in to back it up. That should be able to clean things up, but it loses the medivac as well, and the push is ineffective.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't do anything there. Well, he didn't do enough to hurt the economy of Sheth. He just killed waves of units. But the economy of Cloud is terrible. The 4th base down, all those SCVs killed on the 3rd base, and these Marines are going to get stimmed and killed. He doesn't even get the hatchery here.
Fungal growth to follow that one up. Insult to injury. Sheth plays so well right now, and Cloud getting dominated in the center. His Marine count is down to 20. Just think about that. It was at 75. He's only got 20 now. This middle command center is being rebuilt in a rather vulnerable location, and oh dear, Cloud is falling to pieces here.
Yeah, he didn't manage his fourth base well, and he also didn't keep his reinforcements coming too. His production is fantastic. I mean, look at all these barracks as well, just really high out. He's actually switching over to Ghosts as well as the game goes into the late stages where Brutals and Festivals become very good. Lings are borrowed onto the fourth base as well here. It's difficult for Cloud. His main base is mined out. His natural's mined out pretty much. The third base is not too far away from being mined out either.
Yeah, Sheth is playing really well, and Cloud is falling down here in this matchup. TBZ. He's on 100 supply. Sheth is on 200. Sheth can go and attack whenever he feels like it, and probably should, honestly, because he should be able to crush through the forces of Cloud. Cloud's siege tank count is only at 3. That Mutalisk count will be able to reduce it significantly. Sheth chooses to engage there, which I wouldn't have said was a good idea, but he's going for it now. It's looking to try and deny that. The tanks easily clean it up with the +3 upgrade.
Oh, these infestors.
Oh, such a good fungal growth. Crashing down on that, and there is no answer now to the Mutalisk count. Sheth's going to just smash his way through here, and that might be lights out here for Cloud. He's not looking in a good position.
And no, not at all. Tanks are going down. The command center will probably go down as well, and the last remaining tank, even with Marines coming in, not good at all. 79 supply, 194 for Sheth. He has borrowed Banelings in the center of the map just outside the radius. So even if Cloud goes for a desperate last push attack, they will probably just kill him anyway.
Yes, that would be really a kick in the teeth to finish him off right there. The upgrade advantage that Cloud's been sitting on is about to end simply because of +3/+3 coming in here for Sheth. Doesn't really need it at this point. 90 is supplied, 194. It's not a pretty picture for the Terran player. 3 Ghosts and 16 Marines is not enough to stop what's about to fall down on his head. They're not even full health. Nice EMPs at the back there, preventing the fungal growth, but who needs fungal when you've got all of that?
And there come the SCVs off the line as well. Cloud knows he's done for. He does manage to get into the bunker, though, which will help this little area, but all the SCVs are gone.
GG, ladies and gentlemen.
GG.
Mutual respect from both of these players, honestly, having played so much in Brood War, but Sheth, the dominant one there. Sheth looking really good. If he wins this game, he is looking so strong going through to get through this group once again.
Both these players are at the top of the group now, so it's a tough one, and this group is very hard. We talked about it before with Naniwar in there as well, and Naniwar's got a lot of work cut out for him for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And going up against Sheth, who's
and Stefano,
pretty good as well. Stefano. Wow, this is a tough group for sure. And every group today is actually really difficult.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were looking through. It's like, which is the group of death? And there are so many groups of death. You're looking at, say, the EG Team Kill group, which is Group A. You've got 3 EG players and O'Reilly, who should definitely not be underestimated.
And we will be going into the second game, but to keep you guys up to date, we will be going into Idra versus Puma after this as well.
So good.
Team EG kill. But there is the map chosen. We are going on to Metalopolis, which is super surprising here by Cloud, choosing a Zerg-favored map here.
Yeah.
What does Cloud have planned? What does Cloud have planned? I mean, there was that build where you could lift up the command center and put it on the gold base, but because it's been brought into fashion, people are kind of expecting it a lot more and are dealing with it a lot more as well.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get you invited in.
It's a wonderful thing, folks. It's a wonderful thing.
And there we go.
I wish to be witness to this matchup. I'm sure you guys do as well. It's looking awesome. So good.
All right. Good luck. Have fun is called by me. Cloud says ready. Is Sheth.